So clients get enough of a feel for it, or even the advisors get enough of a feel for the deferred sales trust, and they go, that sounds like this other thing. And then they say that's the same, and then they say this is something that don't talk to these guys because they're talking about a monetized installment sale. No, no, it's not. I think mistaking it for the monetized installment sale, I think this is important. And this was something that, they'll say this is on the dirty dozen of the IRS code. They're looking out for this, and it does sound similar, but Brett, you mind if I walk through what I've learned about the difference between these two? Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's test it out. Let's see how you do, Joe. Go for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
essentially, we take a $10 million asset, we move it into a deferred sales trust, and the buyer buys the asset from the trust. The seller gets a carryback note, gets a loan, and essentially is owed interest only payments for 10 years or so, depending on the structure of the note that's decided on by the trustee. This is a way of deferring taxes, and it is a legitimate way of deferring taxes. And now the client has not received the $10 million, so they're not paying capital gains. Well, a monetized installment sale, what is on the dirty dozen list, what the IRS doesn't want people doing is taking advantage of this installment sale where I sell the property to Brett. He gives me the cash. It goes into a trust, and then I borrow 10 million out of the trust, and I get a $10 million check sitting in cash, and I owe the trust interest. And they sound similar, but the problem is I have $10 million sitting in my personal checking account, and the government says, no, you've received full control of your money. It's like, no, I'm just borrowing it from this trust, and so I'm making interest payments. And it's like, we don't care. You use that to get your $10 million, and you're willing to pay a minimum interest rate of, let's say, 3%, so that you can bypass the capital gains tax. And that's illegal. It's not right. And so this is they sound similar, but it's a different vehicle. And so clients get enough of a feel for it, or even the advisors get enough of a feel for the deferred sales trust, and they go, that sounds like this other thing. And then they say that's the same, and then they say this is something that don't talk to these guys because they're talking about a monetized installment sale. No, no, it's not. I mean, so
Yeah. By the way, great job. I think you really nailed it pretty much spot on. And that it's facts versus fiction, right? They're claiming they're not taking constructive receipt. They're claiming it's a loan, and they're
yeah,
claiming it's really just 453, just an installment sale is what they're saying. But the reality is they're receiving the capital in their personal account, right? And so it's and versus the deferred sales trust, you truly are loaning it. And as you receive payments from the trust, you pay tax. What
yeah,
they're doing is they're receiving basically 93.5% of the funds up front, and the personal account say, no, I haven't received it yet. It's like, no, no, you got paid. It's like if I was a W-2 employee, I closed a big commission deal, and I get the money, and it's in my bank account. I go, well, I wouldn't got this bank over here to do this other thing. And like, no, you're going to get taxed on that. As you receive
yeah,
it, you pay the tax. And that's,
right.
that's the reality. The deferred sales trust has never had a single negative result. It's never had a single negative result for a taxpayer. It's never failed a single audit. Thousands of closes. Yeah, it's over 27 years now. And also lifetime audit defense that's provided. But it's the single most vetted tax strategy you've never heard of, is the way
Yeah.
we put it. And yeah, so it's part of the battle. It's part of the battle, but it's also part of how we protect it, because we don't want people to abuse it or take advantage of it. And so this is why
Yeah.
we're here to try to stay within the guardrails. Any thoughts or add to that?
Yeah, I would say that we are in probably a crisis of a lack of advice for people in this country. We don't have, there's a lot of great advisors that help them file their taxes every year and give them good advice on how to manage those annual situations for the company or for the corporation that they're running. And then we have financial advisors who want to manage the proceeds that come into the wealth of the clients and manage it and invest it and help them think through how that money can grow and create freedom in the future. And then when that's before the sale, then there's after the sale, but there's no one that can coach through and bridge the gap between the personal assets and the business assets. And so That is really where we are specializing in helping these business owners that have a real need and coach them through not just how to sell the business without paying the deferred, by deferring the taxes and doing tax efficient strategies, but also like, how do you get your business ready to be sold? How do you get your business ready to be, the difference between an 8 times multiple and a 10 times multiple is, a lot of times it could be tens of millions of dollars. So we are passionate about helping business owners get their company to a place where it's going to be most valuable and then transacting through that in the most tax efficient way possible.